Hello everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through for Tower of God, Urek Mazino. This week we have chapter 52, I'll Kill the King for You. That is a concerning title. That's a little bit concerning. I don't think there's going to be any big Haku intro this time around. I discussed a lot the last two times. I didn't even expect to last time. It's just that I was reminded through comments and looking back at Tower of God and stuff, just reminded of how unique and high quality things used to be, how good things were. And that got me started, but then I was trying to see both sides of things and be like, okay, well there's this or there's that, and then in real time realizing that some of the things I was trying to defend as being from the blog posts were actually from the canon story. And I'm like, wait, never mind. I guess I can't defend. I guess I can't look at both sides and defend that. So it's kind of storming right now. I'm just going to gamble on recording, though. I want to get this video up for everybody, and I want to read. But as much as I want to read, this title has me concerned, and I'm just not the most excited for the spinoff right now. I'm interested in when we'll get news when Season 4 comes back or anything for the main series, and what that will even look like for Season 4 of the main series, because Season 3 went so far off the rails of comparing that to where Season 2 ended. We were so far off the rails, so many characters didn't even show up in Season 3. The characters we did have went so far from where they were, not so far as in forward, development, but to the side, so far off course, mostly. It put us in a really weird place, so I'm curious for Season 4, but when I learned that this was ending, instead of getting really excited for the ending, I was just like, oh, okay, I guess CU got bored of writing it. I guess CU got bored of the spinoff, is just how I felt. So now it's I don't feel I think it's where we are in the story. Where we are in the story, we've got 18-ish chapters. There is a ton that Tower of God can do in that time, because Tower of God chapters have a lot of content to them. So there's a lot that can happen. And yet, I think it's just because of where we are, we get this reveal where, for people who have been reading the scans, have been reading Korean, it's okay, for them, it might make sense. It might come as an exciting thing, oh, we're ending here. But for official readers, it wasn't good timing to get that info, because we're just starting something new. So just starting something new, even if it is 18 chapters, which is a lot of time for Tower of God, you get this reveal right when you're being introduced to something, and oh, it's only going to be less than 20 chapters. It's well, that's disappointing in a way. It just comes at a weird time, and it hasn't made me more excited for the ending. If anything, more concerned. So with that aside, I guess let's start reading chapter 52 and continue with Edwan's story, I guess, and some of the lore we're getting, or we could be getting here. I like the stuff related to Urek and Fentaminum, developing that in a way that might lead us to, okay, this information is going to play into the main story. But then getting into princess stuff, I don't like it being told through Edwan and Urek. I don't like that. Some of the stuff that we might get here being told through Edwan and Urek, I don't think it fits that much for their characters. It means as much to their characters as some of the other characters. I don't know if I like this lore being delivered in a spin-off as well, not the main series, and through these characters. Zahard is the king of this tower, and the princesses of Zahard, we get a shot of Dorothy and Yuri, are girls who were granted a special power by the king. A long time ago, we were the first to start climbing the tower. We made it fairly high before we decided to end our adventure and settle there. However, the tower demanded more challengers, and there was no shortage of those. Hedon wanted us to provide challengers from our bloodline. Okay, so we're getting that Hedon was a part of this, and each of the great families selected one child. This makes sense to a degree, because Hedon, when talking to Enkidu, was this tower is made for challengers. Hedon seems to want to fulfill the tower's function, and the tower's function is for people to climb, and that could be why Hedon has been manipulating things with Rachel and Akryung, and things with Bomb's entry. Hedon has been a part of things in a way where I think Hedon maybe wants the Zahard Empire to fall because they're getting in the way of the tower fulfilling its purpose, especially if its purpose is for whoever makes it to the top to become an Axis or whatever, to the true top. Especially if that's its purpose, then they are getting in the way of that. And Hedon probably, whatever he is to the tower, as its guardian or whatever, probably just wants to push for that to happen. And each of the families selected one child. Those children were granted the power of Zahard, okay, the original princesses, so they could climb the tower. The 13 girls who ascended the tower as representatives of each family were the first princesses of Zahard. Okay, so there were 13 representatives. That means there's a representative from Grace and from V's family, which could be the Jew family because of Juvial Grace. So we could have a Grace family and a Jew family representative. Plus, that means that at this point in time, they had had enough children that there could be somebody coming from the Ari and Ha families individually. So these would have been probably grandchildren or great-grandchildren of Ari Han and Ha Yurine. That also means that, like I mentioned before, there are probably children that I like the way that the lore in the old blog post kind of set up Gaston and Blossom's relationship as being very contentious. Like, they were on again, off again. They were like Greek gods in that the two of them were often together. There was this romance there, and they really loved each other at times, really hated each other at times. That's the vibe I always got from the blog post, and that's something that I liked kind of continuing on the idea into season 3. So I was always talking about the idea of, they had kids together, kids apart and stuff. And I like that idea still, that they had kids together and kids apart. But also I think they said after the N incident is when Gaston didn't have any more physical children, right? He just started doing the writing children. But by that point, he already had physical children. So I am more interested in getting this lore on these characters. I wish this was given to us in the main series through some of the princess characters, but this is very exciting. And also, I am very excited and hopeful in seeing that we could have had characters that were born to the family heads. This is something I liked about Kubera. Kubera, they mentioned that sort of at the beginning of time or whatever, the Gnostica were just having a bunch of children that kind of populated out the Shura. And then they kind of started falling in love and pairing off and things like that. I would really like Tower of God to take a certain similar thing where it's like the family heads had a bunch of kids and developed the 10 great families. Some of those were together with other family heads, and some were just with Tower natives. We know for sure that Ha Yurine had 2 kids with Ari Han, but then didn't have any more. I hope we keep that. So anyone here might just be grandchildren of Ha Yurine, but we also know that after Ari Han had 2 children with Ha Yurine, he had other children with Tower natives that filled out the Ari family. So technically, Ari Han is the father for all of the Ha family because he was the father of Ha Yurine's only 2 children, but he's also the father for all of the Ari family, but the Ari family is all descended between him and Tower natives. I liked that distinction with the Ari family and the Ha family. I thought, again, that was good lore, and I hope we don't retcon all of this good lore. But it makes me excited for family representatives from all 13. And the idea that though V and Arlen could have been together and had the child who is questionably Bomb, because we don't know if that child's spirit is Bomb's spirit. We don't know the details because of kind of hints they've been giving us. So they could have had that child together, but they could have also had more children or children separately, anything like that. Maybe these are adopted children that we're talking about. We don't know how Luzlek got the Grace family name. I always assumed it was that he was adopted by Arlen, or that whatever Zahard does to give his powers to the princesses, Arlen did that to give some of her powers to Luzlek. I love that idea. So this gets me really, really excited for the potential lore implications. Hopefully it's not bad. Hopefully it's great, because I think it's really exciting. They were the first princesses of Zahard. And we know that Zahard orchestrated their demise. And me personally, I liked the idea that they were the 13-month series, that eventually they became the spirits within the 13 months. I kind of hope that that turns out to be correct, because again, I love that theory, that they ended up being the spirits inside the 13 months. Like, one of these here is Black March. One of these here is Green April, and I think those are the only two we've seen. I love that idea. So I really hope that ends up being the case. Did they have to be female? I'm not sure why, but males could not receive the power of Zahard. Anyway, those princesses successfully climbed the tower, and Zahard gave each of them a weapon, 13 in total, and we're seeing the edge of a red one here. Red October, is it? Yeah. It was decided that whoever collected all 13 would be granted a special privilege. A privilege? Yes, the privilege of ascending to the next floor. But in the end, it was meaningless, for all the princesses either died or disappeared. And is this a retcon? Because before, the lore in the actual canon series was that they got the privilege of being Zahard's bride, but maybe they didn't know that. This could be at a point in time where maybe even Edwan doesn't know that. We know that it was supposed to be for Zahard's bride, but that's something that Gustang knew about, that's something Zahard knew about, that's something that Garam knew about through N, but we know that N found out things from Zahard directly. But also N was Gustang's child, so that might not be something that even Edwan knew about. For Edwan, and maybe for other characters, it's about ascending to the next floor. Maybe they were lied to. Again, that was in the canon Floor of Death, so I'm hoping it's not retconned. Maybe Edwan and the others were lied to. They didn't know it was about finding a bride. They thought it was about getting to the next floor. Or maybe it's becoming a bride and getting to go to the next floor. Maybe it was both. We just weren't told this side of it. It feels weird for us to not be told this side of it, though. So I'm thinking maybe Edwan just didn't know. Also, the family heads have had their memories messed with, and the true meaning of the princesses was lost to the world by the time of N. So this could also just be one of those things where, whether it's by memory manipulation or by some people weren't told other than Gustang and Zahard, the original meaning might just be lost right now. But in the end, it was meaningless, for all the princesses either died or disappeared. And that's weird, because we were told in the Ghost of the 13 Months flashbacks that they were all killed. They did all die. So to say it this way, again, either Edwan doesn't know everything, or we're retconning the Floor of Death, in which case Siu is a bigger clown than I was talking about in the Long Haku intro last time. If we are retconning the floor, it's one thing to retcon the blog post, to pretend they don't exist. But if we're retconning the Floor of Death, what are you even writing at this point? So I really hope we're not doing that. Nowadays, the princesses of Zahard are merely symbols of power and prestige, but in the beginning they only sought to climb higher within the tower. I thought you could do that by taking the tests, but maybe I haven't been here long enough to understand. Indeed, it may be confusing. I have another question. What does the snake have to do with these princesses? What? Someone just told me. There's a water snake that nurtures princesses. Who told you that? A crab. One that had a snake in it. Is he still on this floor? No, he's dead. Or, so here's the thing. I'm thinking either Edwan doesn't know, because Zahard and Gaston could have lied to Edwan. Zahard and Gaston could have lied to Edwan, so I'm thinking either Edwan doesn't know all the details about the princesses, Edwan's had his memories messed with, because we know that happened to the family heads, or Edwan is lying to Urek because he doesn't want to spill all of the secrets to Urek. But I don't feel like, I don't know if Edwan would do that or not. No, he's dead. I see. A snake that nurtures princesses. I don't know the full details myself, but as the blood of a family head becomes more diluted, it gets harder for the family to produce a princess. A strange rumor began to circulate. Apparently a woman hoping to bear a child made a wish to a water snake living in a well. After that, she gave birth to a girl who became a princess of Zahard. Perhaps it's not just a baseless rumor, considering I've heard similar stories from multiple sources. That's almost similar to, what was her name again? Not Lillian, was it? Liliel's mom. Liliel and Shiliel's mom, Laura. That's almost similar to Laura's story. Praying to the water snake in the well and then having Liliel and Shiliel. Like, that is similar to Laura's story. Considering I've heard similar stories from multiple sources. Now, I don't think this story was Laura, because this seems to be like way back in the past. At least far enough back in the past to not be Liliel and Shiliel. But this could mean that Traumerei was trying to... Like, Traumerei was trying to recreate that story with Laura. But I never bothered to look into it. I got it. So you don't know much about it. Thanks for telling me. Now that we're done with that, I'm not sure that I like this lore drop. I mentioned before it being in a spinoff, it being with these characters, but now I'm not sure that I like it because it does seem, this lore that we got this chapter seems confused and meandering, and some of it outright contradicts the Floor of Death. So I don't like, again, if we're retconning the Floor of Death, Tower of God is well and truly double dead. If we're retconning the Floor of Death of all things. So I feel like this is confused and meandering. We really didn't need this stuff. Especially, does this really answer any of Urek's question about what the princesses of Zahard are? Like, he could have had a more simple... Like, this answer doesn't necessarily help Urek right now, I don't feel like. So this lore feels like we shouldn't trust it. It's a potential retcon. Hopefully it's just that Edwan doesn't know what he's talking about. But again, if so, why, again, in a meta sense, for us as readers, why give that to us? It is confused and meandering is a great way to put it, I think. I said it already. I don't like this lore. I think it's exciting that there were originally 13, one from each of the great families, but that doesn't... Like, if Zahard was so angry about V and Arlen having the one kid, then how were there other representatives from V and Arlen's family? And also, Edwan is just giving away that there were 13 families, but also that means Edwan remembers Arlen and V here. But Gaston didn't always remember Arlen and V. So I don't know if Siu is getting confused on his own lore. I don't know if Siu is getting confused on what he himself wrote in Season 3. And also Floor of Death. I don't know. I don't like that very much. Now that we're done with that, let's fight. Sorry, I'm busy right now. We can talk when I'm done with the test. Darn it. Oh, by the way, be careful with those water snakes. They're both one and the whole. They've lurked in the darkest shadows of the tower for a very long time. Gotcha. Outsiders are not welcome here. We don't want you disturbing our peace. You can't make us leave. We have somebody coughing? We'll protect Leicester City. Urek, drive the outsiders out. Huh? Encho? I need you to come with me. Garam was attacked. What? They go inside? Hi, Urek. Okay, she's injured from the princess. Who did that to you? Encho, would you mind giving us some privacy, please? Of course. It was the nameless princess. Yes, she got me good. She also got my attendant, Manmyan. They found him dead in the house, so Manmyan was the crab guy? Oh, she was far stronger than I expected. I'm not the one, I'm not the one who killed him, but still. He is, I think the translation's off. I'm the one who killed him, but still. I'll just let her think that. And of course she was strong. She has Mago within her. Fortunately, it wasn't all for nothing. That's sun-dried fish powder. I got it while I was waiting for her arrival. I put some on her shoes when she walked past me. She probably didn't think much of it, but now I can use my tracker to pinpoint her location. Once my injury heals a little. Urek, and the pocket pops up. Berber. Something's wrong with our teammates. It's like they're all sick. Okay, so that's happening to the teammates too? Rohan, what the heck happened? They all started feeling weak this morning and now they're bedridden. Do you think it's a cold or something? But how did it happen so fast? It's an infection that spreads through Shinsu, says Evelyn. What? It explains why I'm not affected. As a member of a great family, my resistance to Shinsu is high. Someone must have spread it on purpose. But who? It must be the nameless princess. Karam. Encho told me. The infection is spreading through the city as well. The only way to spread it so quickly is through Shinsu. She must have created a waterborne disease. Sorry. This panel. Her ass. I'm trying to spread a disease, but the clap of my ass cheeks is alerting the whole Leicester City. Why is her ass so fat? To drive everyone out of the city. And it makes sense because, again, the test is to take everybody out. She's trying to pass the test. You seriously think she can do something like that? Either that or someone's helping her. I need to track her down right away. Hold on, you're still injured. That's not important right now. Hey. What's wrong with this thing? What's going on? I can't track the powder. Well, Mago's pretty smart. She probably got rid of it a while ago. Mago? Don't worry about it. Anyway, I can find her for you. You really shouldn't be walking around. How? Just like this. And he leaps up into the sky. Huh? The ground is cracked below. Let's see. If Garam ran into her, she's probably out and about and not hiding somewhere. And he spots her. Trying to avoid Urek, but my big red outfit and fat ass stand out in a crowd. There you are. Huh? Hold on. She's being tailed. Okay. Oh, right. This was the snake guy we saw last chapter. I know you've been following me. Who are you? It's me, Your Highness. And again, this does not look like the one we saw as Andorthy's sworn enemy. Snake. Who is that? Stay out of this. Are you really going to stalk me even in the tower? I wouldn't have to do this if you cooperated. I thought I told you when I left that I don't intend to go along with your plan. I would rather kill Zahard myself. Why must you? Make this difficult. He sends out a snake attack. And again, it feels like this should be more nuanced than just trying to attack and stuff. I don't know, the writing here is just so surface level and basic. And Urek comes in, hits the snake. That face. Urek? This is none of your business. There seems to be a misunderstanding here. If you've got a bone to pick with her, you'll have to get in line. And the line starts back there. Forms up another attack arm. Urek avoids it. Makes a snake to go toward him. Urek grabs onto the fangs. And pushes the mouth open. Punches inside to tear it apart. And then the water snake escapes like before. Urek grabs onto it. Hey, what are you, exactly? What do you want with her? Hey, I told you to stay out of it. Don't you remember when we were on the floor of tests? I promised I'd kill Zahard for you, so you're coming with me. What? How do these two know each other exactly? I mean, she should know they came together from the floor of tests. And now we're seeing Bakery again? Kind of forgot about him. Watching the store by yourself again? Oh, hello. The owner's sick the owner's sick today. What can I get for you? Oh, I'm just stopping by. Oh my, did he get infected too? Infected? Yeah, I heard the new regulars on this floor spreading a disease to drive us out of the city. The new regulars. And we end there. So far, the portrayal of Bakery again, compared to what we got in the blog posts, is a real letdown. I'm going to give See You time to cook, but I'm feeling really let down. This is rough. I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to have fun with it, but I think the lore would be exciting if it made more sense. But it doesn't. So again, I'm hoping that Edwan's just wrong or lying to Urek because he doesn't want to spread secrets. But even then, he said 13 family representatives, not 10. He's spilling that to Urek. I dislike that he was willing to even be that forthright with him as a family head, especially the portrayal in season 1 of what Kun thinks of his father. I dislike the portrayal of Edwan here. I don't think the lore makes sense. If this lore is true, if we believe what Edwan says, we're retconning Floor of Death, which is beyond stupid writing. I am so very disappointed. And even if we're saying that he's lying or that he's mistaken because, like I said, of memory things, or maybe Zahard and Gustang lied to him, then why deliver it from him to us as an audience, to Urek, but to us as an audience? Why, like, again, with what Urek asked and stuff, this isn't the most helpful information, so we could have saved this to do with the princess, or we could have saved it to be true. I am so bummed in the quality of the writing for Tower of God for years, but this chapter is just another example of it. I really don't want anything bad to happen to Urek's teammates. I mean, at least Rohan and Evelyn. I care about those two, at least. Man, I don't know. I'm just bummed. I'm bummed out at Tower of God, what it is. I don't know. It's hard to get crazy excited right now. Hopefully things step up, especially again, all the things that we're retconning when it comes to, again, we have already been told blog posts aren't canon, but they were good. So what's the point of retconning them if you're not going to write something that's better? If you're going to write something that's worse, just don't do it at all. And Bakery so far has not been living up to what he should be. We got introduced. His introduction was spoiled by the title. Then we spent a chapter not seeing him really. And now he's here at the end, but he's just watching a store. Yeah. That sigh is real. That's all that Tower of God is cooking right now. Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully and again, like the conflict with the snake charmer, if he is working with this princess to try to kill Zahard or try to form a princess who can kill Zahard, working on stuff because he's primordial in the background, then just being like, aha, I will solve my problems with big snake punches, something that old Tower of God wouldn't have really done. It's just so basic and straightforward and doesn't really actually make sense when you think about it. It's only there for Urek to have something to come in and save the princess and punch him. It's just so basic. Yeah, it's a bummer. I think I can cope all I want and say, man, I just hope it improves. But again, if that's coping, it's me coping. It's me hoping things can get better. But in reality, deep down, it's like, I know, like I said before in the last intro or two, I know Tower of God's dead. If we're retconning Floor of Death, Tower of God's double dead. It's like, I already know. I'm just kind of hoping, like, coping that it can be good. again somehow at some point. Even though deep down I know it probably can't. So I guess we're ending on a somber note, but yeah, a lot of people probably are feeling the same. Like the funniest the funniest thing is still the princess's giant ass though. You know, at least we had that. But like, if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of the chapter, or my thoughts, or anything. Subscribe for more Tower of God, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks or sharing around, it's appreciated. I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to help support the channel by becoming a member, hit join down below. By becoming a patron, go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. Thank you to people who are already members and patrons. You get your name at the end of videos, get One Piece bingo early in addition to supporting the channel. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Holly and Bertie Wooster, to Magical Girls The D-Van and Maru, to Cherryton student David Langstaff, to Slayer candidates SG and Stan Cedar, and to Pure Element Pati Ariel. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.